All right, man. Welcome to the podcast. Let's get into this shit. UFC Fight Night Vegas. Rozenstruik versus Gane. And if you came here because you're trying to get like legitimate martial arts breakdowns and angles on fight, this is not that shit. Let me just go ahead and break down my approach to MMA gambling for you. Because if you want to get like technical stuff about grappling and foot position and how whatever the fuck they're doing in New Zealand is different than here because of the you know where to find that shit, and this ain't it. What I do is I'm like, Carlos Condit's got 3 coffee shops, and I think he overextended himself and is probably like upside down on his fucking mortgage, and that's why he's taking this fight, and I think he's gonna lose. And I'm betting the other guy, and that shit wins. Another example, Stefan Struve. They're like, yeah, he got married last week. I'm like, so you're trying to tell me that expensive fucking wedding, because I'm sure it was expensive, they always are, had nothing to do with him wanting to book that fight? No other reason? I mean, come on. Guy gets to go in there, get a fucking Sonny Liston, take a dive in the first round, and gets at least bare minimum, what, 15,000? Maybe more? You got to think with a guy like that. I mean, fucking, I'm betting the other side. No way in hell. That's the type of shit I run with, and that's what we're fucking doing here today. That's what we did last week. Eddie Wineland, 36-year-old firefighter in Indiana. He's saving motherfuckers every day, risking his life for total strangers. I don't think that guy trying to balance that in a fight camp is going to work out really well against a fucking 26-year-old. Betting the other guy. That works. 42-year-old Andrei Arlovsky, 50 fights. Taking the 27-year-old that they're trying to push up in the rankings. For fucking sure. So that's how we make money. That's how we're doing it. And that's what we're doing here today. So very first fight. It is we're getting fucking, this episode might as well be called One Man's Trash, because I'm doing just like I did last week. I'm investing heavy on the early ones, the ones that nobody gives a fuck about. Fight 1, Dustin Jacoby, Maxime Grishin. Fucking dude who's like a regional fighter, and Jacoby, blah, blah, blah. You can go on Tapology if you want to look at all that shit. Here's the story. Got signed by the UFC 9 years ago, lost both of his fights decisively. Went back to doing kickboxing, got signed to Bellator, lost both of his fights decisively. Went back to kickboxing, and now he beat some fucking like bar fighter in the Contender Series for Dana White. After kickboxing for fucking 15 years, he beats up some like, frat kid who's like 27 years old or something, just fucks him up. And then after that, he fights Justin Ledet, who's only famous for having like a crazy mullet and getting knocked out spinning back fist by Johnny Walker. So his 2-fight win streak is against a goddamn bar fighter from God knows where. Look, the kid, I want to say Tampa Bay. His face just looks like Tampa Bay. I'm not even going to fucking say or Jacksonville. He just looks like some fucking Florida frat bar fighter in the Contender Series, mind you, if you want to even count that a UFC win. And then Justin Ledet, who is a former D2 basketball player who started training mixed martial arts like way late in his life. Oh yeah, who also last year or maybe sometime before that got popped for using anabolic steroids. And somehow, while being juiced up, still looks like a fucking brisket chef. I mean, unbelievable. If you don't believe me how ridiculous it is, he looks like he would fight in blue jeans. So that's his 2-fight win streak against this other guy who's been doing mixed martial arts for like 10 fucking years. That's it. None of the kickboxing and shit. Over in Russia, some crazy fucking Russian guy who has fights against Ankalaev, who's on the main card, went to round 4. That's encouraging. And submitted Volkanov back in Russia like a long time ago. While they may not have shit to do with anything, I can tell you right fucking now, the Russian guy, positive odds plus 140. I'm taking that all day long. So we're going in on the very first one. And I'm going pretty big on this one. So it'll be fucking hilarious if it blows up in my face. Because, look, this is just like betting on the coin flip in like a football game or like the length of the national anthem or something. It is a risky start to the night. But if Grisham hits with the positive odds that he has at the very first one, then you got more fuck around money for the rest of it. And I can throw more on the parlay that I'm planning on stringing together. So I'm going to go Grisham straight up. If you're feeling really fucking, you want to go Benny the Jet and call your shot here, I'm going to go Grisham decision, a suicide-inspiring decision. I think it's just a classic shitty one where both guy kind of like gasses in the second. And it just doesn't matter who's moving forward in the third. And that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the fucking Russian guy all day long. Got a thing for Russian dudes above shitty regional MMA fighters from America. And yeah, I just think they were raised tougher. That's what I'm going on. So fuck it. That's the first fight. And so Grisham straight up is the bet I'm going with. You can go decision if you want to get exact. And I'm going to put Grisham into a parlay as well because I think it's just too good to pass up for the positive odds. I think it should be more of the fight later in the card, Minifield versus Knight, where it's like a coin flip. Because, I mean, two dudes, they literally are like mirror images of each other. They just, one guy happened to do more kickboxing. One guy stayed in like the PFL and doing Russian shit and other stuff like that. But both of them have been professional fighters for over 10 years. Jacoby's not going to have like the experience like he had on the fucking bar fighter from the Contender series. Or Justin fucking Brisket Ledet. Somehow I do steroids, but you would never be able to fucking tell Ledet. So yeah, he's not going to have that on him. So I'm thinking we're rolling with that. Fuck it. Book of that shit and on to the next one. Let's see what we got. So if I have to do this shit, I'm going Ronnie Lawrence. He's minus 170. But fuck it. I'm going to string him in with a parlay and just hope that I can get some value built up on it. I think he's just going to wrestle fuck the dude. And if you're going to bet it straight up, I'd go with decision because I don't see anybody going to sleep for this shit. So that's what we'll do here. All right. Next one, you got Minifield versus Knight. Both these dudes, I think they fight at light heavyweight. They both look fucking massive. I think the only thing I'm going to do on this, and they look like fucking mirror images of each other, except Minifield's got longer arms. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to fucking do with that one. I mean, people are like, oh, I love this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch, but I'm not touching that shit with both of them at minus 115 apiece. Only way I'm betting anything on this is if it goes to the on weigh-ins. If one of them just looks like shit, then I'll take the other one. Because they both look fucking huge, and it's like Phil Hawes last week when you're that muscular. Like you rarely see dudes that are that jacked that if they don't, like Minifield, if he doesn't knock a motherfucker out in the first round, I don't know how he's doing shit. So that's the only way. No pick at this time on that one. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Love this one. Absolutely fucking love this. Alexa. And no, I am not bullshitting you. Alexa Davis, her nickname, Alligator. Now, if that is not reason enough to bet against someone, then I'm sorry, we're going to disagree on a lot of things. You don't need to know anything beyond that. You don't need to know anything beyond that. If you put your money on a cage fighter who voluntarily, this is not like some schoolyard bully shit, voluntarily calls themselves Alligator, you deserve to lose everything. Everything. I hope your money burns in a giant pile like in the fucking Dark Knight. I mean, no way. I couldn't live with myself if I bet on somebody named Alligator and lost. So for that fucking reason alone, we're going with the other girl. And that's just to start it off. If you want to get any in depth even beyond that, first of all, the Alligator is Canadian. She's like not even from fucking Florida or something, or like Australia on some crazy shit where she's like, some fucking Eliza Thornberry shit. It's like fucking Canadian. What do we have going on here that just makes no sense at all? The dumbest shit I've ever heard. She's like 30, over 30. She's 36. Here we go. She's a 36-year-old on a 3-fight losing streak going up against a 23-year-old in the same division as Macy Barber from Colombia. I'm not saying this is the WWE, because it's not, because certainly at the end of the day, two people got to get in a fucking cage, and they're the only ones in there, besides the fucking ref, who got to figure it out. But my God, if they do not put things stacked, I mean, they're trying to push it narrative, and if you don't run with that, then whatever. I'm running with that, and that I will gladly let that bite me in the ass. But put the fucking house on Matzo. Sabina Matzo or Matzo or however you fucking say it. Going all in here. Once again, if I lose to the alligator, fucking hilarious. And it'll be one of those ones, it'll be one of those losses I will legitimately never forget. So for that reason, and you know, the 13 years of age difference. And if you don't think this is a relegation fight, I mean, first of all, it fulfills a contractual obligation for the 36-year-old, for the alligator. And second of all, they can parlay that into build up and promotion for another girl in the same division as Macy Barber, who is supposed to be better than her or whatever, if you want to, you know, I don't know. Listen, fucking Luke Thomas, if you want to know about that shit or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know shit about fighting other than what I fucking bullshit here. But Matzo's a huge favorite, minus 245, and I still don't give a fuck. Putting that in a parlay all day. And, yeah, that's it. Next one. All right. Next one we got. Who we got? Well, they added one, but I'm not, you know. God damn it. Hilarious. They added this Russian dude against Oliveira. I'm not touching that shit. Ah, fucking God. They don't have an age for this fucking... Oh, I'm putting money on this. I don't care. I don't even care if it's just a mess up. I don't even care if it's just a mess up here. And this is just on the fly. I don't give a fuck. Fucking hilarious. 8-0. I love this Russian. These Russian people are ridiculous. 8-0 Russian dude. Not even gonna attempt. Ramazan Kuramagomedov. God damn. Ramazan Kuramagomedov. Holy shit. Ramzan Kuramagomedov versus Alex Oliveira. Brazilian cowboy. Yeah. They don't have a fucking age listed for this Russian guy. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious to me. And for that reason, I'm going with the fucking Russian guy. Don't even care. Stringing it in the parlay. Who gives a fuck? If you think gambling is anything different than just buying a fucking scratch off, go fuck yourself, because it's not. Hashtag profitable sports gambling. Hashtag bankroll man. Go fuck yourself. There's nothing fun about when they're like, oh, figure out your bankroll. What's your unit? You don't even know what a unit is. It's like, hey, dude, I'm broke, okay? I'm fucking broke. Probably shouldn't be gambling anyways, but I am. Just like people shouldn't be buying lotto tickets, but they do. And my unit is like $10. And, sorry, but that doesn't fucking do it for me. That doesn't make me want to put my boner pants on and go back the world. It doesn't. Putting 10 on somebody to win $3, it's fucking stupid. I'm putting 10 on the whole goddamn fight parlay, and we're going to make some fucking steakhouse money. That's what we're doing. Fucking bankroll management. Give me a fucking break. Unless you are putting like $100 plus on every, even more than that. I can't even respect you if you're not putting money on this. Put money on, money. Otherwise, you're just like me and the rest of these fucking scratch-off buyers, and go fuck yourself. So going from the Russian dude who they just like thawed out from a fucking ice block, who they have no age on, apparently. No age. He's just a ageless Russian guy who's 8-0. Fucking hilarious. I don't even care if it's just a mess up on the website. That is fucking hysterical to me. Yeah, taking that guy. Moving on to the next one. On to the next. Who we got? Oh, okay, there we go. Alexander Hernandez. Everybody remembers that guy. Got beat by Cowboy Cerrone after talking a whole bunch of shit. He got his ass kicked. He's fighting a fucking Brazilian dude, Thiago Moises. Hernandez is minus 195. Goddamn, that climbed up. And the Brazilian dude's plus 155. Probably because when you click on his fucking profile, it's a picture of him in his like jiu-jitsu gi or whatever. And you're like, okay. Immediately, I get the fucking picture here. So the guy, he wants to submit people, like, goes for that shit all the time. But, Man, that's tough. That's tough. What do I got on my notes here? Because I'm like, fuck, dude. I think this Hernandez guy's a douche, but I don't really fuck with some of the Brazilian fighters can be a fucking dickheads too. So I'm like, who do I want to pick? Who did I go with here? I'm skipping it, man. It's just fuck that shit. I got a way more interesting one after that, if you ask me. You got Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres versus Kevin the hard-hitting hillbilly Kroom. And get this, also goes by Crash. Has two nicknames. This fucking redneck has two nicknames. And one of them happens to be the same thing that fucking Matt McConaughey's character in True Detective calls himself when he's like an undercover in a biker gang with that like the bald redheaded like the fucking skinhead with the beard or whatever. He's like, good to see you back, Crash. I just fucking imagine. I guarantee you this dude saw that shit and was like, yeah, it's me, man. I'm a badass. Fucking Missouri. Kevin Kroom, unbelievable. I mean, for me, I'm going off this fight card. Last fight card was a little bit fucking dinosaurs fighting young people, and this one, I'm just going for or against on nicknames because this is just fucking hilarious to me. The hard-hitting hillbilly. First of all, the stupidest nickname of all time. Way too many words. And Crash is just, I mean, it's fucking stupid, but I guess it describes what I'm sure this fucking moron just goes in there and does that. Just goes crashing head first. Yeah, oh my God, they got Caceres at minus 230. And you know, joking aside with the fucking hilarious, stupid fucking nickname, Crash, good to see you. Didn't think you were alive, Crash. I mean, fucking hilarious. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, fuck you. Go watch True Detective Season 1. But yeah, everybody's like, Caceres really stringing it together. He's looking really fucking good here on a 3-fight win streak. Okay. Submitted a dude last time. The guy he submitted in his last fight, it was his UFC debut. Come on. Caceres has been around for 10 years. I mean, for fucking ever. He was on the Ultimate Fighter with GSP and Josh Koscheck. I mean, come on. So yeah, like a guy in his UFC debut, that's some classic shit where it's like, you know, the step up in competition. Submits the dude. Fight before that. Went to a decision with that fucking babyface kid, Chase Hooper. He's 18 years old. I said 18. He looks 18. Holy shit. He's 21. But, you know, what the fuck ever. Against a 32-year-old who's been doing this shit for, you know, since the other kid was a 10-year-old. So, yeah, that's fucking crazy. You know, the other kid was in, like, the 4th grade when he was fighting people in the UFC. So, not shocking there. The fact that it went to a decision, honestly. Chase Hooper really fucking... Fuck off, dude. The fact that it even went to decision shows that the guy... That's just what he does. He's a decision machine. And then the one before that, the third one, if you go 3 back here to string this fucking impressive-ass win streak together, you got another decision against a guy named Steven Peterson, who's lost 3 of his 5 UFC fights. So once again, I have no fucking idea why everybody... This guy shouldn't be a minus 230 favorite over a fucking barista. He'd go 15 minutes with a barista. Fucking promise you. So I'm going with this crazy-ass redneck for that, who also, this guy just got fucked. He in his UFC debut, fought this cocky-ass dude who was a massive favorite. Beat him, but on a day's notice or some shit, and the motherfucker got his money and shit taken because he failed a test for smoking weed. So this guy's just fucking hilarious to me, and I'm going with him all day. I mean... top 10 lamest nicknames of all time. Yeah, it's like right up there with alligator, but it's like so bad it's good. And it's different. It's just different. Fucking Caceres, 8 decisions, 8 submissions, average fight time 12 minutes. I mean, it's just fucking. He's just got the cockroach gene. Like, somehow this guy stuck around without ever doing a single fucking thing to excite a fan anywhere. Like, I'm confused about his role in the UFC and, like, what purpose he serves, or here, or really anywhere, or how this fight plays in any kind of bigger picture other than it's a contractual obligation that they have to fulfill his quota per year. But, like, hilarious to me, because it could easily replace Jacoby versus Grisham as the first card of the fucking entire thing, much less where it's at, where I think is it on the main card? Holy shit. Yeah, it's a first fight on the main card, so I have no fucking idea. I'm going with the fucking hillbilly to knock this dude out. Fuck it. And really the only thing I'm putting money on, though, is I'm going to go Kroom, straight up, put it in my parlay. Gets scary when you go with this many underdogs, because most of the time in UFC events, heavy on the favorites, but, fuck it. That's what we're going with. Going with a crash. Next one, not touching with a fucking 10-foot pole. Angela Hill, Ashley Yoder. The rematch. Yeah, no way I'm putting money on this fucking thing. No way. 2 women in their mid-30s. Both outside the top 10. Neither of them ever going to be a champion. Yeah, they're both good enough to, like, win at any time, which I think is just going to cancel itself. It's going to be like a fucking Houston Alexander, Kimbo Slice type fight. Be action-packed. I guarantee people are saying that's what it's going to be. I think they're going to fucking scissor each other to a decision. And whatever, go fuck yourself if you got a problem. I mean, people are like, there's a lot going on here. Whatever, dude. To 9 out of 10 people, when people wrestle fuck each other for 3 rounds, nobody gives a fuck. And I can promise you, I'm a casual. Whatever. Nobody gives a fuck about this shit. And this fight is so uninspiring. I don't even know what to say. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. As far as these two go, you're not going to see a single fucking thing in this fight that you could give a fuck about. I mean, this is a Carlos Condit, Matt Brown fight. This is Clay Guida, Michael Johnson. In this type of a fucking fight, you can't look at anything for a reference or like what to go off of other than the fact that they fought each other before. Nothing means a goddamn thing. Fuck it. Skipping this shit. I'm ranting about it and whatever. Be offended and you can click to some other shit, or they can pull this down. I don't really give a fuck. I'm just here to throw some goddamn money at some people fighting in a cage. All right, next one. Pedro Munoz, Jimmy Rivera. Munoz is a plus 125 underdog. Rivera minus 150. And, all this shit's going to change by the time they actually step in there. But that's what you're looking at right now. Munoz on a 2-fight loss streak. Whatever the fight. Rivera, he likes to wrestle. He likes to wrestle box. Munoz says, no, I don't give a fuck. None of that has to do with my pick. Here's what I can tell you. Jimmy Rivera is a fucking wild man, and I'll tell you why. You go on his Instagram, and that fucking psycho in 2021, with the kind of people that are out there, with 10,000, 20,000 plus followers, whatever he has, big number. This motherfucker tags his house on social media. I mean, you gotta have some fucking balls to do that as a public figure, whatever. Tags his fucking house. You don't believe me? Go ahead and look at it. He's got 3 big-ass dogs he posts pictures of all the time. Puts a little tag up there. The Rivera estate. You want to pay him a visit in upstate New York, you can go get fucked up by his dogs and then murdered by him, or however you want to play that in whatever sequence of events. But I am blown away with the kind of person who fucking pins their location in 2021. Dangerous. And just insanity. And I fucking love it for a guy who's stepping into a cage. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and fucking geotag your shit and welcome anything. Ready for fun. You can take it the fucking world on. I think that is just hilarious. And for no other reason, I'm taking Rivera. Because who the fuck as a guy, if you have more than 10,000 people, and not bot followers, like this guy's been fighting for, I can't remember the one promotion before this, and people fucking bust my balls for it, but I mean, he's been fighting good people for a long time. He doesn't have a bunch of bot followers. This guy has tens of thousands of people who follow him, and he's like, "Yeah, this is my fucking house. You can hit it and pull up a zip code and shit. You can get a fucking Uber there." Crazy. He's got fucking brass balls to be doing that shit. And so put him in the parlay and move along. I know Pedro Munoz is great. And you're probably going, yeah, if you're betting on any fucking underdog, you probably shouldn't be betting on Crash. You should probably be fucking betting on Pedro Munoz. But it's, to snap the 2-fight losing streak against like really ridiculously good people. But nah, man. You got to be a psychopath to do that. And that's the kind of angle we take here, and that's the narrative I'm building, and that's what I'm running with. So, yeah, Jimmy Rivera all day on that. And I'll keep betting him until he stops tagging his location, because that's just insanity. And love the mindset. Invincible. He can take on any. I mean, who the fuck welcomes? Look, I mean, there are people out there that are like obsessed with the dumbest shit and like stalk the dumbest people or things or like whatever it is. I mean, just the kind of fucking crazy that you're inviting by tagging your location or your residence is that's fucking crazy. I love it. Next one. All right, I'm skipping the what's this one? Montana De La Rosa versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I'm not touching it, man. I just wish there was there's just nothing I got nothing here. I mean, Montana De La Rosa, cool name, right? But she doesn't have a nickname, so nothing for me. I mean, in terms of the theme here that we're sticking with, if we're building narratives and running with bullshit, that has nothing to do with the martial arts breakdown. The footwork, look at the hip top, look at the way that he puts the lever. None of that. I don't give a fuck. It's either things that I know about them and their personal shit in terms of like what's publicly available with their fucking business dealings or personal, whatever you can get with that. That's always fucking great. And if you got nothing there, and I got nothing in terms of nicknames, and 11-6, 7-1, that's the records of those two, plus 105 versus minus 125 on the odds. It's like, I mean, what the fuck? 26 years old, 29 years. I got nothing to fucking go with. It's nothing funny here. I just got nothing. It's not the kind of one I bet on. So I'm going to skip that shit. And next one I like, though. You got fucking Ukraine versus Russia. Nikita Krylov. I can't say his name. I know this dude, though. And people who watch shit know this dude. So he's good. Good as fuck. And he's facing a Russian dude, Magomed Ankalaev, dude who went 4 rounds with or Borg Grishin, who were taken in the first fight. Yeah, it's pretty lopsided in terms of the betting. Fucking everybody's going with Ankalaev. And jeez, holy shit! If this is what it is, it wasn't this yesterday. It's moved a fucking ton. I'm seeing minus 335 for Ankalaev, which is crazy. That's a lot. That's a heavy price. I mean, I'm going 245 with the Colombian girl against the fucking alligator earlier in the shit, and that's steep. At least for the type of shit I go with. I mean, if you add it to a parlay, it certainly gives it, it gives it a teeny bump. But man, not a whole lot there. But I mean, I'm following the shit here and going with the Russians. Fuck it. That gets us to the main one here, which is Rozenstruik versus Gane. Gane, how the fuck you say it? Yeah, man. Jesus Christ, this one's marching up there too. Oh, you never like it. It's minus 285 for the Frenchman, plus 220 for Rozenstruik. Man, that is a steep price. That is a steep fucking price for the heavyweight division, especially when you saw it like last week. Your people fucking shelling out cash for minus 400 on Curtis Blades, and That went nowhere. So, that's fucking dangerous. That's why I'm going with the bottom of the barrel here. And I may even scrape Ankalaev and just have my main event be with old Jimmy Rivera. Looking at the odds here and stringing together a parlay. This is at the moment. So, take it for what it is. But if you put Grishin, Lawrence, Matzo, Kroom, Rivera, and Ankalaev together, you got yourself a 33-1 parlay. So $5 gets you 165. Not bad for some, fuck around cash on a otherwise boring ass Saturday where I'm still I'm in New York City, so I'm fucking locked up. I'm not doing shit, and I don't feel like falling asleep in the middle of this fight card because otherwise I would. Because honestly, what the fuck? So those are my fucking picks, and that's my reasoning. And yeah, you can tail that shit with caution because you're probably going to end up losing it. But if I hit, I'll come back and tell you how I'm a fucking genius and you should listen to me and why all these people who break down footwork, it doesn't fucking matter. Because he's upside down on his mortgage. That's what I'm betting on. Because he got married last week. And he's in the whole fucking 25 grand. That's what I'm betting on. Because he's a firefighter and a fighter. And that's tough. And there's only one guy who can do that on the whole fucking planet. And his name is Stipe Miocic. And he happens to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Not many people are like that. Not many people. Not many firefighters. I think about Chris Liddell. Lights out, light out. Firefighter. Good fighter. Is he ever going to... When he got to that point when he was older, though, bet against him. Same type of shit. Same type of shit. So that's what we're fucking running with. And, yeah, best of luck. Hopefully y'all make some money. And if you go opposite of me, let me know. Because I would think that's fucking hilarious if you end up winning because I'm such an idiot and my opinions don't matter. So, yeah. Fuck it. See you next week.